What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to do a turn signal kit on our Club Car DS golf cart. Let's say you have a golf cart that has headlights and taillights on it, but it does not have a turn signal kit. But you don't want to spend $100, $150, $200 for just that kit. So I want to say I picked this one up around 65 bucks. And I'll place links in the description below where you can check that out. I looked at the $15 kits. It's like a hot rod turn signal kit. There's a couple of different things on that I didn't care for. Number one, the finish, it was chrome. I didn't like that. I think it would stand out too much. Number two, it didn't come with the column cover. It only had the turn signal switch and a hazard light switch. And at number three, they get their ground through the steering column itself. So you would have to take those apart and add a ground to it in order for them to work on a golf cart. I mean, could it be done? Yeah, it could be done, but is it worth the hassle? Probably not. So this is going to be like a universal install since we're going to be hardwiring it to our golf cart. It's not going to be plug and play. So if you have a golf cart, whether it be an Easy Go or some other kind of name brand golf cart, you should be able to put it on there. Simple. Now, if you have a Club Car President, it should just be plug and play. But this is not a President that's going on, and I bought it solely on price. That's enough talking. Let's get started. So as you can see here, this is the instruction manual. It shows a Club Car President. It has the Club Car President bucket harness, and maybe this fits other golf carts as well. Now, since we're not going to use this on a Club Car President, and I only bought it because of price, well, the back of the instruction manual here has a schematics. That's going to come in helpful for today's video. Shows us the color of the wires and what they do. Got a steering column cover, got a brake pad switch with screws to mount that down. This is the cover that goes over the column right here. This is your turn signal stalk. It's got a horn button back here, and you got a switch to turn your headlights on and off. So I like everything that's contained right there. This is your horn, and it comes with another switch to run your hazard lights. Now, all right, guys, so the first thing I want to do is to mount our turn signal switch here. I will say this. In the past, I've had one of these before, and if I can remember correctly, this portion of this right here tab, this mounting tab, would hit the cover that would hide all of this right here, okay? And to make it kind of difficult to go on. So I'm gonna take these right here off, and I'm just gonna take them on the flap disc, and I'm not gonna cut them off, but we're going to flatten them down and take out maybe about 1/8 of an inch or so of this mount here on the outside. I don't want it hitting the cover itself now. You can see we're not taking much off. We're just clearancing the very end of these brackets a little bit so the cover won't hit. Generally, what happens is sometimes this cover, see it's hitting here. See that? And these right here little tabs are plastic, and they can break off very easily. So what I'm doing is just going there and clearancing so we have enough room to slide the cover on and not force it with these tabs. But this slides in there easily, and this one starts to hit. See there? It's already hitting. All right. So the cover on the tabs go down. So the tab closest to the end is at the bottom one. There it is. It's in place. This next part, we're probably going to leave until the end. I really wanted to get this right here mounted first. That way it's not just moving around on me while I'm messing with things. We're going to leave this plug on. You're going to leave this box on if you're doing it in my same method here. I'm going to just remove and cut off this 9-pin plug right here, okay? There's only 8 pins in the entire plug, so you should have power and ground and then 6 other connections. And this is where you don't have any more warranty. Well, I'm not saying that. This is an Amazon product. So we need to look back at the installation manual and see exactly which wire goes where on the golf cart and then start extending these wires and running to those locations. All right, so I have the installation manual here, and you notice on the back it shows you all this right here. Some of y'all might be confused to that, but don't be. Right here at the top left, it shows you your 8 different colors, and you're gonna have purple, which is your horn, white is your left brake lamp, yellow is a brake, brown is your right brake lamp, black is your ground, red is your source, green is your right turn signal, gray is your left turn signal. So those are the wires and the color codes and exactly what they do, and it tells us right there exactly where they need to go. So we're going to get started on that right now. So even though we just went over what each wire does, I just want to maybe kind of dumb it down a little bit further here. The purple wire here, it will only have power on it once the switch is pressed on the stalk for the horn. Okay, so we're gonna have to run this purple wire, we're gonna have to extend it to where our horn is mounted. Now the horn is gonna have 2 connections on it. You're gonna have one that's going to be for the power wire here, the other is gonna be for the ground wire. We're gonna have to run a ground wire back from the horn to our main ground here on the golf cart, because if we only run a power wire to the horn and we don't have a ground, nothing's going to work. The red wire here, we're going to hook this up to our accessories power. This black wire, we're going to hook this up to our accessory ground. So the power's hooked up, the ground's hooked up. Now the horn is done. We can take the key, turn it on, test the horn out. This brown wire is going to go to our back right brake light or turn signal, whichever one you want to call it. This white wire here is going to go to our left brake lamp or turn signal, since it's going to operate both. All right, guys, so the audio dropped out of a couple of these clips. I went ahead and removed the 4 bolts holding the housing in, removed the wiring harness. I cut the zip tie to give me some more room here. I opened up this loom to expose the taillight wires. The black wire is going to be your ground wire, the red wire is going to be your running light wire, and the white wire is going to be your brake wire. So I went ahead and I cut both sides of the red wire and the white wire away from the harness here, since that's where it was originally joined at. I went ahead and stripped back the red wire on both sides, and I butt connected the red wires back together. I grabbed some 16 gauge wire and ran it from the white wire all the way to the front of the golf cart. On the left side I used blue wire, on the right side I used black wire. Now once both of these wires are ran to the front of the golf cart, you want to attach them to the turn signal kit. I just used 2 different colors so I can determine which side was which at the front of the golf cart. This green wire is going to go to our front right turn signal. This gray wire is going to go to our front left turn signal. All right, next thing we need to do is to connect the amber lights here on both sides. I went up here and I grabbed the harness that's going to them. It's got 2 wires, or 2 sets of wires. The one with the white there is going to the headlamp, and the one to the amber here has got black on it. So the black one's got a yellow and black, the headlamp's got a red and black. But as you notice, in this black split loom here, not split loom, but heat shrink, both blacks get tied together because there's only one black down here. And you got red on the right and yellow in the middle. So this is the same as the tail lights here, that the white is being tied into the red. Since you turn the headlights on now, the amber lights come on. So we need to pull this loom back a little bit, remove the white from the red where they're joined up, hook a wire up to the white wire, and run it up to the control box on the turn signal kit in the dash. We need to do that for this driver side here and for the passenger side. And then our yellow here is going to be for our brake. Now the brake pad switch is a little bit bigger than it needs to be for the Club Car DS. So if you have a Club Car DS that you're planning on putting this kit on or another kit, I went ahead and marked the top left corner. I took a razor blade and I cut the top left corner off, and then I was able to put 5 screws directly into the pad that's going into the brake pedal itself. Now once I had the brake pad mounted to the brake pedal itself, I wire tied these 2 wires that's coming out of the brake pad switch. One wire goes to the positive of the converter, the other wire goes to the yellow of the turn signal kit. So if the lights are on or off, the brake lights will still work. All right, so if you order a kit, it's going to come with a hazard light switch. I'm going to use this old existing headlight switch that's on the dash here for my hazard light, just so we don't have to remove it or drill any new holes or anything. So I need to remove these 3 wires away from that switch right there. The The red wire was the power feed to feed the headlights. The blue wire is in the middle of that switch, and that may be kind of hard to see. That's the headlight turn on wire, and the black wire is the LED indicator light for the switch itself. So we can go ahead and remove the red, the blue, and the black away from that switch, and that's what I did in this case right here. Now on the harness of the turn signal kit, you actually have 3 more wires. It's a black, a blue, and a yellow. We're going to hook those 3 up to either your new hazard light switch, but in my case, I'm hooking them up to this switch right here. Now the blue wire that came off of this switch, I hooked it up to the purple wire of the turn signal kit, is labeled upgrade headlight power. Now by us hooking the blue wire up to the purple wire, we can use the headlight switch on the stalk to turn the headlights on and off, and the switch that's on the dash will then turn the hazard lights on and off. In order to hook the hazard light wires to the new switch, yellow goes on the bottom, blue goes in the middle, and black goes directly behind the LED indicator of the switch itself. Now once your 8 wires from your turn signal kit have been installed, ran, and hooked up, once you have the 3 wires going to your hazard light switch installed, and you also made sure to install your old headlight wire to the purple wire of the turn signal kit, you can go ahead and assemble the dash, put everything back together, button it up, clean it up, and we're done. All right guys, well, it's completed, it's done, everything's in, it's working like it should work. This is the 9-pin connector that we cut off in the very beginning of the video. And if you missed that part, we cut this off because this golf cart does not support the bucket harness. I still wanted to use this turn signal kit on the golf cart because of the price. It was like 65 bucks, give or take, a few dollars. All the functions works as it should. We have turn signals front and rear. We have a horn, we have hazard lights, we have brake lights now. So everything is working like it should. Everything's nicely mounted onto the steering shaft here. If your golf cart has the 9-pin bucket harness, say you have a President, maybe a TXT or some of the Miller golf carts, this right here would have been a lot easier. Now since I had to hardwire every single wire on this, I think I had to hardwire about 9 or 10 different wires. The difficulty scale, I wouldn't say it's extremely difficult, but you have to pay attention and figure some things out. I'm just here to prove it to you that it can be done, especially if you have an off-brand golf cart and you wanted to use one of these cheap turn signal kits off of Amazon. I'll place the links to it in the description below, along with some of the other stuff I used in this video. So the features are working pretty good, but this is probably my favorite feature on this entire unit right here, especially for the money. Like I keep mentioning to you guys, it was like 65 bucks. I turn my turn signal on. We're going down the road and we forget and leave it on. The turn signal kit in this unit does not have a flasher or a relay. It is on a timer. So after 30 seconds of it flashing, it will automatically cut itself off. There it goes, it just cut itself off. It happens to everyone. It's happened to me time after time after time again. All right guys, so that's pretty much it for the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, lets you know every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, we'll see you later.